What is going on, guys? We're back for a part 2 of UFC lore accurate nicknames. If you watched the first one, or if you haven't watched the first video, go ahead and check that out, before this video or after this video. But guys, y'all requested a part 2. We're back. Guys, I'm tired of these UFC fighters having nicknames that aren't accurate, or just having nicknames that don't even sound cool, bro. I'm here to fulfill both of those needs, bro. I'm going to give these fighters nicknames that are lore accurate, true to these fighters, but also they're going to sound super cool. And I feel like the UFC community, maybe even the fighters themselves will catch on. Maybe some of these fighters will actually take these nicknames. But enough talk. Let's go ahead and get into it with the first one. We're starting off hot, guys. Y'all can see by the thumbnail, we got O-Block Mike. I'm tired of Iron Michael Chandler. Look, it's fine. Iron just gets overplayed. It's overused. We know Iron as Mike Tyson, right? Iron Mike Tyson. So why are we trying to steal a nickname here when you have an opportunity to have the coolest nickname in the UFC, and that is O-Block Mike. O-Block's very own Michael Chandler. This man brings it every single time. This is how it's lore accurate, right? There's guys in the UFC like Sean Strickland who talk about, yeah, man, here's the thing, you guys. I'm going to go to war for you guys, man. We're going to go to war. Michael Chandler genuinely does that. He genuinely throws himself in the fire. He comes in guns a-blazing every single time. Live by the sword, die by the sword. More than likely, more often than not, die by the sword for Michael Chandler's case. But with that being said, this is where this nickname fits perfectly for Michael Chandler. He's in the crossfire every single time. Whether he gets chinned, whether he gets finished, or whether he somehow pulls it out of the fire, this man's going to go to war every single time. It's like he's from O-Block. Michael Chandler's kind of become a meme nowadays. He's kind of a joke in the UFC because he's on a fat losing streak. If you change up your nickname, people might be like, oh, that's O-Block Mike. They might start respecting you, and maybe these people don't want to fight you because you're not an easy fight anymore, because that's O-Block Mike. Y'all get what I'm saying? I hope y'all enjoyed this picture. Not every fighter on this list is going to have a cool picture like this. I'm sorry. But, dude, this visual is awesome. We need Michael Chandler with the O-Block chain immediately. But yeah, this one's self-explanatory. Y'all understand. Y'all have seen the memes. Y'all have seen the King Von music behind Michael Chandler highlights. It's perfect, bro. Let's move on to the next one. The only other fighter with a cool picture, and that is Donald Duck. Johnny Bones Jones. The MMA community will know what I'm talking about here. John Jones, I still believe, is the greatest fighter of all time. But he's trying his best to kill his reputation, to squander his legacy. It makes sense from his perspective, sort of, but this man's holding up the heavyweight division, which is already cheeks, by the way. But Donald Duck is perfect. This man does not want to fight Tom Aspinall. He doesn't want to risk his legacy, which I don't even think it would risk much. He's an old man by now. Tom Aspinall, possibly the best heavyweight we've ever seen. Generational talent there. He's younger, he's bigger, he's faster. Very tough fight for John Jones. I understand. I wouldn't be scared. I'd do it. But I understand the risk there. It's high risk, not so much high reward in John's head. But it doesn't matter, bro. You're holding up the division. You're holding up a title. How does he even have the title still? I don't know. Dana White loves this man. But John Jones, bro, stop ducking Tom Aspinall. And please fight the man. It's the fight that we all want to see. We're getting tired of these talks. We're getting tired of John Jones talking about retirement and still not being stripped of the title. But Donald Duck is perfect. Y'all like this picture? I feel like this is perfect, bro. This is perfect for John Jones nowadays. The UFC fans are doing everything in their power to get John Jones stripped of the title. I've been seeing a UFC petition going around. Yes, people are signing it. Last I checked, it was over 50,000 people that signed it. But it's a petition to get John Jones stripped of his UFC heavyweight title. And I feel bad for Tom Aspinall. This man's in the prime of his career. He's not getting any fights. He said he wants to fight whether it's John Jones or not. What are we waiting on? Seriously, what are we waiting on? I don't know if this whole thing's just a front. It doesn't necessarily look like it. I hope it is. But for right now, we got Donald Duck. No more Johnny Bones Jones. That's a sick nickname, by the way. But he doesn't deserve it. At this point in his career, if he's going to stick around and hold the title, hold it so dearly, so tightly, and not fight, your new nickname is Donald Duck, buddy. I'm sorry, I don't make the rules. Well, I do actually. But Donald Duck is perfect right now. Until he steps up and either relinquishes the title He's still John Duck. But but if he fights Tom Aspinall, we can remove this nickname. We won't call you a duck anymore, and you can go back to Johnny Bones Jones. But anyway, let's move on to the next UFC fighter, UFC nickname, Ilia Tapora. We had Ilia Tapora in the last video, and you know what? Maybe I was delusional. We had him as Spanish Ross Geller from Friends. I think he looks like Ross Geller. I still believe that. But we got something even better. This one fits more of his lore, okay? His fighting style. Ilia Tapora should be called the Stalker. This man stalks his prey. He's always walking down on the pressure, looking for that KO shot. I feel like this is perfect. We should start calling this man the Stalker because, first of all, that's intimidating. That's definitely scary. I wouldn't want to fight the Stalker. But I feel like it just flows, you know? Oh, yeah, Ilia Tapora. Oh, yeah, that's the Stalker right there. And you may be thinking it sounds bad, but bro, this is mixed martial arts, man. It doesn't matter if it sounds, appropriate. If your nickname is the Stalker, bro, nobody's going to want to fight you. But Ilia Tapora, like I said, Stalker is the perfect description of how he fights. He walks forward looking for the KO shot. He's always on the pressure. He's trying to push you up against the fence where you have nowhere to go. He's going to stalk you until he finds that one shot to put you unconscious. This man is going to stalk you until he finally has his way with you. Now, that does not sound good at all. Don't clip that up. But that's the truth. Ilia Tapora is a bad man. A scary man that you do not want to see in the octagon. Please, Charles Oliveira, please take out the Stalker, bro. Please. We need it for my sanity. I cannot see the Stalker, KO Volkanovski, which was AI, I believe. I don't know who threw that on the screen and tried to make us fall for it. People believe anything nowadays. But that, and then there was a Max Holloway KO. What? Yeah, Max Holloway getting knocked out. Okay, I'm sure, buddy. I'm sure. But if this man actually knocks out Charles Oliveira, I don't know if I can watch this sport anymore. But I feel like the Stalker is perfectly fitting for this one. Let's move on. Israel Adesanya. His current nickname is the Last Stylebender. I think it's pretty cool. But due to recent events, I think his new nickname should be Israel, not the country, Adesanya. Just because, people might get confused out there. There's a lot of stuff going on in Israel. Don't want to get into that. But, we don't want people hating this man for no reason or supporting him for no reason. I don't want people to get confused with the country. So, hence, that's why we have the nickname. Israel, not the country, Adesanya. I think this is perfect. Israel Adesanya already has a lot of haters. He's my favorite fighter. Again, I don't want any new fans to the sport to see his name and just automatically hate him. Come on, bro. Give him a chance at least. But that's why we have this new nickname. Israel, not the country, Adesanya. We don't have to spend too much time on this one again because it's a touchy subject, but that's why. Listen, I'm going to say it again. This is why we have given him this new nickname, bro. So there's no confusion. Nobody getting their feelings hurt because this is Israel, not the country, Adesanya. But let's keep moving on, bro. I think Israel's a country. I don't even know. Let's keep moving on. Khalil, this one's similar. Khalil have you out by Roundtree. Guys, this is a play on words right here, okay? I feel like I cooked right here. Khalil have you out by round 3. Y'all get it? It's like Khalil have you out by round 3, but in Spanish with a little Spanish accent. Let me read it one more time for you guys if you didn't understand it. Khalil have you out by round 3. I'm sorry, guys. I know it's lame. Is it lame? But Khalil Roundtree, beautiful fight in his last performance against Alex Pereira. Did not get him out of there by round 3, but he looked phenomenal. This man's a completely different fighter once he went to Thailand and started training. But Khalil Roundtree, very violent, very aggressive fighter. He's going to have you out of there by round 3, more than likely. He had a nice little win streak going until he ran into Poatan, but that's a different animal in Poatan, which, great nickname, by the way. We're not going to adjust Alex Pereira's nickname now. Maybe we do in part 3, I don't know. But like I'm saying, Khalil Roundtree was knocking out marauders like Anthony Smith, bro. People don't talk about the Anthony Smith win enough. This man's retired. He's soon to be in the Hall of Fame, probably first ballot. I mean, he's probably the best non-champion the UFC's ever seen. And what did Khalil Roundtree do to him? He had him out of there by Roundtree. I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry, but Khalil Roundtree, respect to Khalil Roundtree for taking that fight with Pereira. He didn't deserve it at all. That's another subject for another day. Actually, you know what? We're going to touch that subject because Khalil, what does the UFC come to nowadays? Because how is Khalil Roundtree popped for a banned substance, gets suspended immediately off the suspension, doesn't take one fight in between. No. Immediately from the suspension, straight into a title shot. Dana White's logic truly needs to be studied. Okay, this one's corny, bro. Okay, whatever. Let's move on to the next one. Michael Morales is Spanish Spider-Man. We got some alliteration. That's a big word right there. We got a tongue twister for Spanish Spider-Man, kind of like Michael Morales. The only reason this came to my mind, the Spider-Man thing, was because I've accidentally called him Miles Morales in the past. And if you know any Spider-Man lore, Miles Morales is also Spider-Man. Miles Morales, put two and two together. Miles Morales, Michael Morales, combine them. We have Ecuadorian Spider-Man, but that doesn't sound as cool, bro. That's why we went with Spanish Spider-Man. I know he's not from Spain, but as far as I'm concerned, they speak Spanish in Ecuador, right? But that's where I got the nickname. Michael Morales just ran through Gilbert Burns in one round, which was a tough watch. It was. Gilbert Burns on his way out, but it's still a good win, bro. It's genuinely still a good win. I know Gilbert Burns is on a losing streak, but he's lost to straight killers. And then he lost to Spanish Spider-Man. I just want one of these UFC fighters to see one of these and just adopt one of these nicknames. My favorite, though, my personal favorite, if you watch the channel, can we please petition to start calling Mateusz Gamrot Cousin Gamrot? There's not really any reason, except for he's my cousin. I just want everybody to refer to Gamrot as Cousin Gamrot. And I know we're getting a little bit off topic. This is not about Michael Morales. We're talking about Gamrot now. But I just want to remind y'all that it's Cousin Gamrot fight week. All right, my fault, guys. Let's just carry on with the video, bro. Next, Joshua Van. Shout out Joshua Van. Just entered the flyweight rankings. He's very entertaining. I was trying to do a play on words with the word van. We were close. We were close. I thought about Joshua Minivan. There's some potential there. But, bro, who wants to be called Mini, bro? Let's call this man Punch Bug. It's like a punch buggy, which is a little car. If you don't know, that's what we call them, punch buggies. But Joshua Van, he's a little guy. He's like 3'7". So that makes all the sense in the world. You can't refer to this man as a van. Even a minivan's big. Let's call him Punch Bug. And it's got it in the name, bro. Punch like UFC. Because he's going to punch you in the face. But Joshua Van is not super popular, right? The hardcore fans love him. I love him. Probably my favorite flyweight outside of Michael Scott, a.k.a. Steve Erceg. But Joshua Van, please, if you're watching this video, I know he's a subscriber to the channel. He has the post notifications on, so as soon as this drops, we're probably going to see him in his next fight with the nickname Punch Bug. And you can't tell me you don't like it. This is a goated nickname. If people see that they're scheduled to fight somebody whose nickname is Punch Bug, they're going to be frightened. But this is solid. This is solid. I ain't gonna lie. It's an 8 out of 10 nickname. I didn't cook a 10 out of 10 like O-Block Mike, but let's move on to the last one, I believe. And this one just flows off the tongue. Alexander Volkanovski has a good nickname. Alexander the Great. Sure. But there already is an Alexander the Great. So, here is my proposal. Volkanovski, another subscriber to the channel. Listen, let's scratch that nickname and develop this nickname. Alexander, my sweet Pookie Princess Volkanovski. You cannot tell me that is not more intimidating. It rolls off the tongue better. And somebody with this nickname, they're going to have the crowd on their side. Everybody knows that everybody loves them. So it makes all the sense in the world. My sweet Pookie Princess. And whether you think it's childish, whether you think it's girly, bro, maybe it's lame to you, it's not. It's really not. Alexander Volkanovski just reclaimed his title. He can do whatever he wants now. And when you've been at the top of the game so long, people already respect you. You don't need to have some scary nickname. You can do whatever you want, bro. You can be my sweet Pookie Princess. I'm sorry, guys. We're getting lame nowadays, I know. Feel free to hit the dislike button if you don't enjoy this. But this is my 2 cents on UFC fighters that either need to update their nicknames or, some fighters don't have any nicknames at all. So that's what I'm here for. Y'all hit that like button if you enjoyed it. Let me know in the comments which one of these is your favorite. And let me know if we should bring it back for a part 3. But y'all be sure to hit that subscribe button if you're new, or if you're not subscribed, turn on the post notifications, bro. Because we're live streaming on Tuesdays, Thursdays at 8:30 Eastern. And you don't want to miss any live trivia or UFC 5 gameplay. But that is going to do it for me, guys. And we out.